Welcome back to part 8 in my Project 2020 Artist Series, and today we're going to be tackling Ben Baller. There is not a single artist in this set that is right now more polarizing than Ben Baller. Let's now dive into his first 10 cards and figure out at the moment what is my favorite card of his at the 50% mark in Project 2020. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris, otherwise known as @CRT_Sportscards on Twitter and Instagram. And if this is the first time you're seeing me, thank you for checking out this video. And if you want the best website for everything related to Project 2020, it's my website, CRTSportscards.com. Just go to the menu and then drop down to Project 2020 and everything you need is right there. But let's shift away from my promotion and let's now talk about Ben Baller. And when you think about Ben Baller in Project 2020, what is the one or two things that come to your mind? I know for me personally, number one, it's the diamond, it's the ice on his cards. He has taken his first 10 cards in Project 2020, and I presume all of his 20, in a very diamond iced out perspective. And they're cool to look at, but sometimes they don't transition as well onto the printed card itself. But then number two, and I think more importantly here, what is important to understand around Ben Baller is he is a hustler. He can sell. All of us think that we hustle, but Ben Baller is at a completely different level and stratosphere when it comes to being able to sell a product. I mean, he outsells, or he sells out of a money counter on a website in minutes. And by the way, who carries enough cash these days to need a money counter? But the reverse side of the equation, because he can sell products so well, is a lot of his Project 2020 cards are printed at such an extreme, they are not that valuable on the secondary market. He does, though, own card number 1, Ichiro, in Project 2020, which is the most valuable card in the set. His second card is also Frank Thomas, so Ben Baller has a distinction of having his first 2 cards be first player cards, and his first 2 cards have held up well considering everything else going on in the set when it comes to reduced secondary values. But outside of his first 2 cards, a majority of these cards are not worth much more than MSRP, and a lot of them in the back half of his top 10 are underneath MSRP. So if you're putting together the Ben Baller set, outside of Ichiro and Thomas, there's not a lot of money in these, but in the same time, we have made him a lot of money because we have sold a ton of cards, or we have purchased a ton of cards of his through Project 2020. So at the end of the day, we have to give it to him because Ben Baller can move product and Ben Baller is a hustler. But now let's take a look at his first 10 cards and then break them down 10, and let's figure out what is my number 1 card at the moment in Project 2024 Ben Baller. Taking a peek here at his library as a whole at the 50% mark, there is that Ichiro and the Frank Thomas card number 1 in card number 23. Card number 51 is going to be a number we remember in Project 2020 because that is his Mike Trout. His 5th card was Dwight Gooden. His 6th card was Cal Ripken. Then his necklace giveaway with the Jeter, Mariano, Mattingly, and then his 10th card was that McGuire. You can see just the massive print runs on these cards. Mike Trout, 35,000. Dwight Gooden, 26,000. Ripken, 36,000. Jeter, 65,000. And then most recently with his McGuire, it feels low, just 9,758. So just quickly adding up all of his first 10 cards, he comes in at a whopping 213,922 cards sold at the 50% mark in Project 2020. He is the number 1 printed artist out there. And me personally, I am not collecting Ben Baller. I will only own a couple of his cards at the end of this when his Jackie Robinson and then of course his Ted Williams is released, which has been released, but we'll cover that at the end of this project in his really recap of all 20 cards. But now, taking a look at his bottom 4 cards, and today, this is going to be a solo version. I don't have another list to use with notes, so we're going to go with this just myself. But on the bottom 4, I have his Derek Jeter, Dwight Gooden, Frank Thomas, and Mark McGuire. And these cards are simply just in the bottom because if I had to pick cards of Ben Ballers to own, these would be the last 4 that I own and the 4 that I just find the least appealing of all of his 10 cards. There are cards I do like of his, and there are cards that we'll talk about here in a second. But at the same time, these 4 cards are just cards I can live without. I think the Jeter is really, to me, the most gaudy card out there. I understand it had the necklace giveaway, and there are reasons behind it, but I find that card to actually be the maybe 10th right now of 10th. The other ones are not at that level, but I felt that was just way too much and way too busy. But now, let's take a look at 6, 5, and count all the way down to number 1. Coming in number 6 on my list for Ben Baller is going to be this Don Mattingly. And there are a couple of things I really liked about the card. I really like the plane on the bottom right of the card. They're dropping the baseballs like the Bronx Bomber. I like the subway writing in the background, 1984. But more importantly here, if you take a look at this card and you look at his 1984 card, they look very similar if you just ignore the background. There is a very simple homage to the actual card. It wasn't changed all that much when you look at them side by side and just look at the images. Although Mattingly is batting versus fielding, it was a really good card overall. Coming in number 5 here on my list, another Yankee. And this one I really liked also because it really changed the Mariano card altogether. The Mariano card, as I've said numerous times, is very boring and very difficult to work with. But Ben Baller said, screw it, I'm making my own card, I'm doing what I want. And so I really like the flag in the background. The iced out grill was a nice addition. Not one of my favorite cards altogether of Ben Baller, but it was a really cool design because Ben Baller said, I'm going to do my card my way and make Mariano look different. And this is, to me, the happiest Mariano of his so far in this set. Coming in number 4 on my list, and this is going to be the card from a print run perspective where we really all took notice of the set and the power this set really had from the on-demand perspective. It's going to be his Mike Trout card number 51. And when you ask any Project 2020 fan in the future, 5-10 years from now, what does 51 mean? We are all going to know it means Mike Trout Ben Baller. This is a really good card. I like it overall, and the prices have swung wildly on this card. This card was worth a couple $100 down the road, and now it's rather low in the under $50 range. But from the visual perspective, from the perspective of what it means to the set overall, this is that card. It's not in my top 3, but this card, this numbering will live on forever in this set. Coming in number 3 on my list, and this is another moment card in this set, but it's not a moment card like the F. Mask because it's not as overt, it's very subtle. But the Black Lives Matter Cal Ripken Jr. I thought was very special for the set because of when it was released and the complete black background. So that is why this card is number 3 in my set. It does get lost in the shuffle of overall cards in this set from the social perspective, but it should not. This is a very meaningful card, and it was great to see Ben Baller put out this card for Cal Ripken with Baltimore, considering everything going on in the country at the moment. If you're liking this look down memory lane of Ben Baller's first 10 cards in Project 2020 and you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button so you are notified when I post up either one of my bi-weekly Project 2020 videos or one of my remaining 12 artist series videos where I recap every artist's first 10 cards in Project 2020. Now getting back to the countdown list, there are 2 cards remaining, the Ricky Henderson and the Ichiro. Which one will be my favorite? Coming in number 2 on the list, and when you think about a man who represents a city, there is nobody like Ricky Henderson with Oakland. And I think the green with the diamonds works so well on this card. From Man of Steel to Hometown to the street sign in the background, I thought this card was really well done and the colors work really well together. It wasn't my favorite card, but if I had to pick one or 2 cards to own with Ben Baller, it would definitely be this Ricky Henderson. And that only leaves the Ichiro to talk about for my number 1 card of Ben Baller. And it's number 1 for a couple of reasons. Yes, it's card number 1. That's really cool. It shows that Topps understood that Ben Baller could drive product and gave him the number 1 spot. But it's very simple. My dislike for the cards overall, because of the diamonds, because of the ice, this card barely has it. This is a very subtle design for Ben Baller and for Ichiro itself. There is the drawn diamond on the bottom right of the card. There are some sparkles on the left and right side of the card. But for the most part, it's a very, very clean design. I could have seen myself collecting Ben Baller if a lot of his cards were more like this. I will never own this card because it's nearly $2,000. I'm not dropping 2 G's on this card, but at the same time, it is a fantastic card, and it really makes me happy that his Ichiro is card number 1, because at the end of the day, I'm a Mariners fan, and you all know my affection for Ichiro. So it's great that his first card is my top card. It is this Ichiro. Hope you liked the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And at the same time, if you want to hear more news and notes from me around Project 2020, check out that playlist on the screen right now.